The band met this morning, and they came to the conclusion tonight's concert should be called off. Derek Thomas reports.
Deer Creek Music Center and Grateful Dead, after consulting with law enforcement and local government officials, have canceled tonight's July 3rd concert.
Jerry will not be jamming, and his fans are bumming.
Oh, I'd like to see Jerry play up there, you know. It should be pretty cool, second night up here, you know. Back Deer Creek End. It was kind of crazy last night. I'd like to see it like a little more mellow tonight, you know. It'd be pretty cool.
It won't happen tonight.
Oh, really?
No, it's canceled.
Oh, that sucks.
Police did not use those words, but felt just about the same way as they faced thousands of ticketless fans that tried to storm the fence around the amphitheater. 42 people were arrested, 17 during the nighttime confrontation.
Stay ready. We are probably going to insert gas.
Dead spokesman praised the way police handled themselves and the situation.
They displayed consummate professionalism and great restraint under difficult circumstances. The behavior of that group of unruly fans was absolutely unacceptable, and we condemn it.
By mid-morning, the damaged fence was repaired, but Deer Creek officials could not justify going on with the show.
We have all decided what we believe is the best thing to do for tonight's performance, and it's based on the outside people that come, that don't have tickets, and that come, and that's something that we have no control over.
Fans will get their money back. Refunds will be available beginning July 10th. You can get your refund at your place of purchase. 9 of the 17 people arrested at the concert were charged with selling drugs to undercover police. The others were held for resisting officers who were trying to quell that disturbance. Another 25 people had been arrested earlier in the day for other offenses. Many of those arrested last night were in court this morning. Of the 42 total arrests, 17 were released on bond, 3 were released on their own recognizance, and the remainder are still in jail. The city's largest fireworks display is celebrating a silver anniversary tomorrow night, and today workers were gearing up for that big event, hauling 1,500 pounds of fireworks to the top of the NBD building. Unlike the olden days when a technician ran from shell to shell, igniting each one by hand, this year's show will be fired electronically from a keyboard. The result, a faster-paced show.
The Dead will probably never be back here again.
A canceled concert, a concerned fan. Will the Grateful Dead be able to resurrect their Deer Creek denizens? Good evening, I'm Cheryl Adams, in for Caroline Thaw.
And I'm Bob Donaldson. Police call it a riot, the band calls it a disturbance, the fans call it a shame. Deer Creek canceled the Grateful Dead's concert tonight following last night's clash with hundreds of police officers. In tonight's top story, Nightcast Adam Shapiro reports nobody is taking any chances.
Been canceled today.
Say goodbye, sleeping bags, to Grateful Dead.
Or in other words, the party is over for the 50,000 Deadheads who plan to party at Deer Creek Music Center.
We do not consider what happened last night to be a riot.
Heads up! Out of the way! Get out of the way!
From what I've gathered, it wasn't a significant number of people.
Man, I thought they were going to take the whole fence down. People just storming the hill.
3,000 of them, according to sheriff's deputies. A scene so chaotic that Indiana State Police riot squads were called in to restore order. It took more than 200 officers. Yet on the other side of that fence, Deadheads rocked to a different beat.
Worst school being almost ever had.
There were just way too many people. We saw no reason that would change today, and that's why tonight's show's canceled.
4 police officers injured, 15 police cars damaged, and 17 arrests. Nobody wants a repeat performance. With Deer Creek in their rearview mirror, these Deadheads are off across the river, the mighty Mississippi, and on to St. Louis and the next Grateful Dead concert. After all, the show must go on.
I think people should be ashamed of themselves for rushing the fence like that. They ruined it for everyone.
And left a lot of Deadheads with tickets to nowhere. Adam Shapiro, Fox 59 Nightcast.
The Grateful Dead have played Deer Creek for the last 5 years, but there's no deal for next year, and the band says it's too soon to determine if they'll return.
Well, thousands of Deadheads traveled cross-country to see the show tonight, and they're not leaving just yet. Some say all they ever wanted was a peaceful, good time.
I'm not mad at Jerry, I'm mad at the scene. People should, like, behave themselves right on.
Deadheads are crying the blues when they should be going to another concert.
I may look like a freak and stuff, but I don't, you know, I go there and I dance the whole time and I have a good time, and I'm really tired of people ruining it for me.
I work hard to pay for my tickets, and then there's all these people that come and crash the gate down and ruin a beautiful venue.
Loyal Dead fans blame Deadhead wannabes for the chaos at last night's show, although some fans don't blame them at all.
We're probably one of the first 15 I would have been in. I would have been running. I was taking my sandals off trying to run.
One started and the rest followed.
Did you follow?
Nah, it's not my thing.
Hanging loose, sister.
The concert may be canceled, but many of the Dead fans are sticking around the campgrounds, and so are the cops.
Okay. That'll be fine.
Most say the relationship between the police and the fans has always been a good one.
We usually get along pretty well. I don't know what happened down there, if they're the old-time fans or if they're just the ones that decided to start following maybe that had the problems.
There's like a new, younger kind of people hanging out in the scene, and they just think that they deserve something, and I don't, you know, you don't. If you didn't score a ticket or you didn't pay for a ticket, you don't deserve to go in. Fit, fresh veggie burritos with homemade salsa.
Kim Vogel planned to sell her veggie burritos at the concert tonight, but these Deadheads just have an appetite for music.
It really is a shame, you know, because, I mean, Deer Creek was a hot ticket. You know, everyone liked coming here.
The Dead tour now continues on to St. Louis. Ticket holders for tonight's show can get refunds after July 10th at the place of purchase.
Well, some Dead fans weren't moving much today for other reasons. They lost their wheels. Police and tow truck drivers were out in force last night. At least 150 vehicles were towed for illegally parking along the road. But many Deer Creek fans complained that thousands of fans without tickets were allowed to park inside, leaving no room for fans with tickets.
We were stuck in traffic waiting to get in for probably 4 hours. And then they told us we could get in with tickets, and then when we came to the parking lot, they turned us around. So when we ended up coming back out here, our car is now towed. So now we have no vehicle.
An estimated 10 to 20,000 people paid to get inside Deer Creek parking lots, but they didn't have tickets to the actual concert.
The Independence Day holiday finds support building in Congress for a concert.
Last night they decided to cancel the second show. I don't know.
Okay. How do I get back to Express?
It's all in the press release, right?
Disappointed Grateful Dead fans are turned away from Deer Creek Music Center tonight after the band canceled its concert following Sunday night's riot. Good evening. It is 11 o'clock, and there is a calm after the storm at the Deer Creek Music Center tonight.
Following a riot at Sunday night's Grateful Dead concert, Deer Creek and the band decided to cancel tonight's show. News 8's Rick Hightower was at the Hamilton County site as the Deadheads were turned away.
Show has been canceled.
You get a refund on your tickets?
Right. You need to call the place of purchase.
They came from all over the country Monday night to see the Grateful Dead, only to find out the second of two concerts here at Deer Creek had been canceled.
Show's been canceled for this evening.
Why?
Here's a press release.
The determination to cancel the concert came after thousands of fans without tickets rushed the gate at Sunday night's show, prompting police to use dogs and tear gas to control the determined Deadheads. One girl says she was enjoying the music until being arrested for disorderly conduct.
Some people might have done things to deserve getting arrested. I was not one of them. I was not one of them, and the police officers were just, they brutalized a bunch of innocent people and put me in jail.
Van Ash says police took her dog. Now she can't find it. The Hamilton County Courthouse became a revolving door Monday for those arrested at the concert for rioting and drug charges. After spending the day in court with his son, Thomas Weber persuaded a judge to let the boy out of jail to return home to Saudi Arabia. Weber walked to a nearby bank to get $1,000 cash after his son's guilty plea on resisting arrest during the riot.
As I told the judge, this was the second concert he did see, actually the third concert in the last 8 months. And the last concert 8 days ago in Washington, D.C., he was in the parking lot listening to the Grateful Dead and enjoying it, and there was no problem at all except lightning striking 2 students.
4 police officers were slightly injured during the skirmish after being hit by rocks and bottles.
There's the press release.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
To the next show.
While the gates may have closed prematurely on Deadhead fans here at Deer Creek, there's always St. Louis. The band plays 2 concerts at Riverport Wednesday and Thursday. Rick Hightower, Wish TV, News 8.
Some Grateful Dead fans say they were allowed to park inside Deer Creek for $10 last night without having tickets. That's a policy which may have contributed to the riot.
Well, if you're spending the 4th of July on Indiana's waterways, you'll likely see state conservation officers cracking down.
No good. Couldn't even trade for St. Louis.
Most of the people that came here that caused the problem didn't have a ticket. So, you know, in that sense, they don't have that sort of moral contract with the band that says, I'll buy, you'll sell me a ticket, I'll come, I'll act reasonable, which 99% of all Deadheads do.
The Grateful Dead, Deer Creek officials, and also Sheriff Cook, they came together and they decided as a community, basically, that this was the best thing to do under the circumstances.
While police had a contingency plan for tonight, County Board Head Steve Dillinger says he worried that troops could not adequately protect fans if there was more violence. Some fans don't support cancellation.
Maybe some more police in the lot just to keep everybody on their toes, but let the show go on.
But for others,
I don't really blame it on him or blame it on, you know, us. I think that it was just something that wasn't meant to be, and for whatever reason, it won't happen. So, you know, it's just a show.
for some of these fans, it's the end of the line. For others, it's on the road tomorrow to St. Louis, scene of the next concert. David McAnally live near Deer Creek.
And we don't know yet about next year, right, David?
No, not exactly, but I think you can probably expect to see some political pressure placed by some on the town board on Deer Creek to try to see to it that the group was not invited back, but you'll probably see some pressure from business people who depend on economic impact from this event to get them to come back.
Well, you're making some of these fans happy tonight. We'll see you later, David. If you are holding tickets for tonight's canceled show, listen carefully. Here is how to get a refund. The show will not be rescheduled, so you'll need to get your money back.